Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I am so happy you're watching. I am going to teach you this week 5 simple and easy tricks to step into your power and to make your wishes happen. I am Misha Tuesday, the Mystic Hypnotist, and I am trained in a variety of self-empowering methodologies that you don't need to know the details. I'm going to give you some simple homework at the end of this video, and my goal for these, I'm going to give you 5, one each day. And my goal for these is that it's something that you can do in 1 minute or less. 1 minute or less. Because small incremental changes with consistency is how we transform our lives. It's real easy to say, you know what, I'm going to turn over a new leaf, and tomorrow I'm going to start meditating for 30 minutes in the morning every day. I'm going to cut down on alcohol and caffeine. I'm going to clean up my diet. I'm going to start exercising. And you have these big plans, and then maybe you do it for a day or 3 days. If you're really crazy about it, you could go for a week and a half. But if you try to do a huge major change, it's much more of an uphill battle than if you pick one small thing that you can do, tomorrow, tonight, or even right now. That is going to be one small thing that you continue to do, then you can build on it. It's easy to do something that takes less than a minute. So I'm going to talk about what I do in my routine and introduce the challenge in general, but just stick around for the homework. Is going to be one simple thing that you can do in less than a minute each day this week that is going to get you on the road to a brand new you and an amazing life that you are in control of. This is my way to help others because I have learned these techniques and I have taken control of my life, and this is my way of helping other people take control of their lives. Because Oh, and if you're here, please pop something in the comments. Say, hi, hey, Misha, I'm ready to change my life, or whatever you want to say. You can heckle me if you want to. I'm also a stage entertainer. I can handle it. Don't get rude, though. Don't use any swearing because it's a family audience. So, if you just joined us, this is Misha Tuesday, the Mystic Hypnotist. I'm doing a 5-day Hypno-Energize challenge. I got the title reversed there. Hypno-Energize 5-day challenge to give you simple techniques. Like I said, it's going to be stuff that you can do in a minute or less that is going to get you on the road to taking control of your life, stepping into your power, and making your wishes happen. And this video is probably going out to several places. If you're on my personal page, I probably don't see the comments right away. If you're here in the Mystic Hypnotist page, then I will see your comments more readily. But I'll tell you a little bit about Hypno-Energize because I am a trained hypnotist, and I call myself the Mystic Hypnotist, not because I necessarily believe things that you don't believe or because I'm going to try to get you to believe something that you don't necessarily already believe. But I call myself a mystic because the way I define it is a mystic asks big questions without settling for easy answers. I take a very open, exploratory worldview wherein I'm going to ask questions, I'm going to explore, I'm going to try to learn as much as I can. I'm not going to jump to conclusions, because when you jump to a conclusion, when you decide, oh, this is what's true, this is what I believe, you stop critical thinking on that subject. So I like to keep my judgments postponed, suspended, as it were, and keep exploring. So a mystic is simply someone who explores in the realm of consciousness, philosophy, ideas, how we approach the world. And I've found that how you approach the world can have a very large impact. Hello, Ariel from New York. So glad to see you watching and interacting with me. I will respond to comments as I see them. Please do like the group. And you know what? If you want an accountability buddy, because I am going to get to the meat real soon. If you want an accountability buddy for these tricks, if you're in a public area, tag someone. If you're in my private group, you're going to have to invite them manually to the group because they won't see a tag. But please do invite a friend to do this with you. It's going to be so simple, really easy little things, and it's gonna, you know what, you're gonna have to trust me that if you do these tiny things, they're gonna seem too small at first to make a difference. But if you start doing these small things consistently, that's what we're talking about. Consistent incremental change is going to get you to the point where once you've been doing it for a week or a month, you can expand a little bit. That's why when people are starting a meditation practice, and today is not going to be about meditation, but when people start a meditation practice, they often say, okay, I need to sit down for 30 minutes every day, and I'm going to do this meditation practice, and I'm going to start doing 30 minutes every day, every morning. And they might do it for the first couple of mornings. And then, you're late for work and you let it slide or whatever. Life comes up. If you start with, I'm going to sit for 1 minute in the morning before I have my coffee or my tea or whatever your morning thing is, I'm going to sit for 1 minute and do a 1 minute meditation just every day for a month. It's super easy to do. Even if you're late for work, you can just say, you know what, it's only 1 minute. I'm going to still do my sit for 1 minute, take a minute to charge before I go about my day. It's going to support you in your day, and it's going to develop that habit. It's going to develop that consistency that then once you've been doing it for a while, you can say, you know what, now I'm ready to go for 5 minutes. And before you know it, a year from now, 2 years from now, you're sitting for an hour every day. Your life is transformed. You're not stressed. You have, easy anger management. You're not flying off the handle. You're a much more even and in control person just from that one simple thing. And if you want to do that, by all means, go for it. I am not going to teach meditation in this challenge. I will teach some mindfulness tricks. Let's talk about what you're going to learn in the whole week, and then I will get to today. What we're doing this week is a very simple and brief morning routine. If you already have a morning routine, I'm going to teach you ways to go from there. But if you don't have a morning routine, that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to do mindfulness techniques. And if you've heard about mindfulness before, you might be worried, Misha, I've had mindfulness trainings. I don't have time to sit for 30 minutes every morning. I'm going to teach you mindfulness things that you can do in less than a minute. You can do it in the morning. You can do it in the evening. You can do it at lunch. The more the better, but if you only have a minute to devote to that one, each day, that's going to get you way better than if you do it for a half an hour once a week. If you do a minute a day, it's going to be much more even keel in the baseline of mindfulness. So I'm going to teach you very simple mindfulness. That's tomorrow. We're going to talk about generative journaling. A lot of people talk about the power of journaling, but I'm going to teach you how to do a generative journaling, and that will include ways to generate personalized affirmations that you're actually going to believe. Because a lot of times we see these grandiose affirmations. They say, you know what, take a minute in the morning to tell yourself these amazing things about yourself. And half the time you're saying it and you're like, I don't really feel that way. I'm going to teach you a way to get ones for yourself that are you are going to have a very easy time connecting to the truth in that, as opposed to something that someone else gave you that is harder to relate to. And that's going to be generative journaling. We're going to talk about the invisible game, which I can't do a nutshell of that. That's why we're going to spend a day talking about the invisible game. And I am going to teach you the basics of self-hypnosis. We probably won't have time to go into everything, but I'm going to give you a seed experience. Like I said, these are all for things that you can do in a minute or less. That is going to get that ball rolling, get yourself in that self-hypnosis mindset, or that self-programming mindset, that resolve, determination, motivation. I'm going to give you a seed of that you can do every day that's going to already start to transform you and see results in your life. And when you're ready to turn up the dial on that, we can do that. But this week it's going to be very simple, short techniques. So that's what this challenge is about. That's who I am. And I will tell you, a big problem that a lot of my clients have, and a lot of people I talk to, many people in Western society have the same things that are getting them down, that are keeping them low energy, that are keeping them from really achieving what they want to achieve in life. And it has a lot to do with our sleep cycles. A lot of people have less than ideal sleep hygiene. And I'm not going to tell you to do any of this stuff, but I'm just giving you some insight on things that you could look at if, when you're ready to do those things. But a lot of people have this, sleep hygiene where you're looking at your phone until you're too tired to keep your eyes open. You're ended up staying way later than you wanted to. A lot of people have this cycle with alcohol and caffeine where, I need a couple drinks to relax. I need caffeine to wake up in the morning. oh, you know what, I've had a hard week and now maybe I need a little bit more alcohol to relax in the evening. Maybe now I need a lot more coffee to stay awake during the day. And it can get into this, this spiral of increase that can give people a hard time. And one thing that I think is very easy to do that a lot of people don't do is having a morning routine. And if you have a morning routine, do give me a shout out. Corinne says hello. Hi, Corinne. Hi, Stefan. Glad that you are all here watching with me and watching me. I'm just taking a look to see if there's comments in the other area because I want to make sure everybody gets a shout out if they're here live. If you are here live, I definitely appreciate you a lot. So, but if you're not here live, you can watch this later today, tomorrow, next week, a year from now. You'll still get value out of this. You can still get in touch with me if you have any questions. I will try to keep up with the comments for people who are here live. So, Caleb is here. Hi, Caleb. So glad that you are watching. And these are, all techniques. If you're watching the replays, I do advise you to watch these in order if you can find all 5. There will be 5 of these videos. I'm going to give you one simple tip every day that's going to get you on the road to transforming your life, stepping into your power, making your wishes happen. So I want to stress small, consistent changes. I'm talking about a lot of stuff here when you're talking about your sleep hygiene and your alcohol and caffeine cycle and all these other things, negative self-talk. It can seem like big, daunting stuff. Oh my goodness, is he telling me to quit alcohol and caffeine? I am not telling you that. I drink alcohol, I drink caffeine. Why would I tell other people to stop doing it? If you notice it getting out of balance, that is something that we can work on, but I'm not going to tell you to do anything about that now. If you start doing these simple things, the rest of your life is going to shift around it, and you will have these shifts naturally. If you start doing these exercises, you do it for a month, you're going to naturally start to look at, maybe I'm over drinking, maybe I don't need a whole pot of coffee during the day, maybe I can take some time to do no screen before bed. These are not things I'm telling you on day one. These are things that you will naturally look at if you just start small and stick with the program. It's going to be life-changing. But today we are talking about a morning routine. Hi, Tori. Tori said hello. I'm so glad you're here, Tori. Great to see you in the program. And I'm just making sure I keep up with my comments. Hi to everyone who is here and everyone who is watching in the future. I appreciate you so much. I will tell you about my morning routine. And once again, I am not going to tell you to do this on day one tomorrow. This is day one of the challenge, but the morning routine, if you're already up, your mornings, we're already into the morning. I've already done my morning routine. The homework that I'm going to give you is going to be for tomorrow morning, just to make that clear. I'll tell you what I do every morning, and I'm not telling you to do this, but you may get there if it's something that works for you. And with any of these, I tell you to test them. Test it for yourself. If I say, do XYZ, and you do XYZ and you're like, why? I don't think Y is doing much for me. And you cut Y out for a week and you're still feeling positive, energized, you don't need Y. Let Y go away. Any tip that I tell you, experiment with these. Give it a good go though. Give it a week to a month of doing that one little tiny thing that's going to take you less than a minute. And then you can start tinkering with it. You can start expanding the parts that you really feel good about. You can start, maybe I'll try not doing that thing that I really don't like to do for 3 days and see if I still have this power and energy that I've developed. You are your own boss. You are the captain of your own destiny. I am only here to point a way forward and give you some tips that will help you to seize that helm. Sierra is here. Sierra says, LOL, I'm up doing my morning routine as we speak. It's awesome that you have one. I will probably talk a little bit about things that you can do to take it next level too, even if you do already have a morning routine, which is amazing and great that you have one. Here's what I do. Every morning I wake up, and when I say first thing, obviously sometimes you get up in the morning, first thing you need to do is go to the bathroom, and that is a given. But when I say first thing, it's after toilet time, But before you look at your phone, before you check your email, before you make your coffee or your tea or whatever your beverage is on my list. I do it pretty early in the routine, but I do have one. Actually, I have a couple things that I do before even my morning caffeine. And this is what I do. I get up in the morning. I take a glass of water. I do my intentional drinking of water, which if you've seen my YouTube channel, I do have a video on that. It's very short, very simple. Takes me probably 20 seconds to do an intentional drinking of water. I drink a glass of water with a little bit of intentionality. Very first thing. I take a cold shower. I'm a big fan of the invigorating cold shower. Cold showers are proven to reduce inflammation, reduce cortisol, which is a stress hormone. It gives you, energy, vitality. When I do a cold shower, and I'm used to it now. When the first couple times you turn that cold water on, whoa, oh my God, it's a shock, But after, probably 5 seconds of that, you get used to it and you're like, okay, now I'm just standing in the cold water. A lot of people try it and they turn on that cold blast and they're like, no, and they turn it off. Just give it 5 seconds, man. If you have a heart condition, though, do check with your doctor first. I am not a physician. I'm not prescribing anything. I am inviting you to experiment with these techniques. But I take a cold shower every morning, and since I've started doing it, I have noticed so much more energy, so much more focus, so much more motivation. I get so much more done. I'm in a better mood. And there are, like I said, I'm not a doctor. There are some medical studies backing up a lot of these reports that people give who have been doing the cold routine. Some people even do a cold ice bath. If you're familiar with Wim Hof, or if you're not, go ahead and look him up. It's 2 3-letter names. Wim is W-I-M, Hof is H-O-F. He's called the Iceman. He's got a whole system of ice bathing and breathing exercises that he uses. You can look into that if that appeals to you. But I do the cold shower every morning. While I'm in there, I do one of the very simple Wim Hof breathing exercises that is also shown to reduce inflammation in the body, and I do my affirmations. And affirmations is something we're going to talk about on day 3 when we talk about journaling, and I'm not going to go into that in detail today, but I do my affirmation cycle that I've developed. I have, probably 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 affirmations that I do every morning in the shower. And once again, when we do that on Wednesday, I'm going to teach you how to come up with affirmations that are self-generated, that are personalized to you, that you will be able to believe. Because many people who have experimented with affirmations, you get it out of a book, you're like, I feel strong, beautiful, and competent to conquer the world. And you tell yourself that, and it sounds goofy to you, and you're like, I don't know, that sounds kind of goofy. I'll give it a try. But if you're not really connecting to that meaning, it's you'll get some results. I don't want to tell you it's not going to work, but you will get much better results when you do personalized self-generated affirmations, and I'm going to teach you an easy way to do that on day 3 of this challenge. I do that in the shower, my affirmations. Again, out of the shower, I do some more breathing. I do some Tai Chi Chuan, and sometimes I will do a self-Reiki energy attunement and any kind of energy work. If you're into that sort of thing, if you know Tai Chi, if you're into yoga and a chakra balancing meditation, something like that is something that you could put in your morning routine if it's not already there. And once again, I'm not prescribing any of these things. I'm giving you examples of things that you could choose for if you don't have a morning routine, your one simple thing that you're going to start doing tomorrow morning. Or you know what, you could even do it right after watching this video if you want to get the ball rolling. It's always good to take action now as opposed to say I'm going to do it in the morning, but the morning is acceptable. Ariel, let's see. I'm getting caught up with comments now. Sierra says, I haven't followed my routine, my morning routine normally for years. Today is the first day I was starting a challenge for myself. LOL. That's awesome, Sierra. I don't know if you saw some of my posts that I was doing the 5-day challenge, or if we might have had a link up that we got this idea at the same time. But for me, I was like, you know what? Let's share this with the world. Let's tell everybody how to get on board with this, because as you know, it is very energizing. It's very powerful stuff. It sets the mood for your whole day. It sets your intentions and your expectations of what you're capable of and what you're going to work on today. I highly, highly recommend doing that. And we will talk about a simple way to get started in just a few moments. Ariel says yes to Wim Hof breathing and cold shower. I'm a big fan. I'm a big proselytizer of the cold shower. I'm not really a student of Wim Hof. I haven't read a lot of his stuff, but the cold shower and the breathing exercise that he gives away for free are really, really great. And Sierra says, I added a cold face wash to my morning. I live in the mountains, so a full-on cold shower might be too much for me. And Ariel says, yes, even cold face wash slows heartbeat. That is a reflex that we have as human beings. We have a reflex that when our face is in cold water, I think it's even just submerged, but cold water does it faster and better. It actually slows down your heart rate and your metabolism. And why that is if you go underwater, your body starts automatically using less oxygen, so you can hold your breath longer. It's a natural reflex, and getting that reflex. Once again, I don't know the science of it. I'm not a scientist or a medical doctor, but the science of that is all about that reflex. You get yourself in cold water, and you get some exercise to your cardiovascular system. You get some exercise to the lymphatic system and the reduction of inflammation. Not medical claims. I'm not a doctor, but if you're into that thing, there's tons of research out there that you can look at for yourself. So that is basically my morning routine. It usually takes me about a half an hour. Oh, and I finished that by doing my generative journaling. I didn't bring my magic book with me. I'll show you that on day 3, because you might not be watching this on the same days, and that's fine. Whenever you start this, I'm a big believer that I wouldn't say that things happen for a reason in the cosmic design sense, but I would say that I'm a big believer in taking chance events seriously by choice. And that's a whole philosophical discussion that you don't even want to get me on. But if you want to get me on it, contact me offline, and I'll be happy to philosophize about the crazy intersections between fate, free will, and randomness. And Sierra says you don't need to be a doctor to feel the difference. Try it out, feel it for yourself. If it works for you, keep it around forever. If you find that it's just too much trouble, you're not seeing the benefits, move on to something else. I'm not going to tell you specifically what to do in your morning routine. I'm giving you examples. I will give you a homework to pick one thing, and I'll give you some examples to choose from. Or if you have something else, you're into Ekankar and you want to chant Hugh in the morning, go to town. The more personalized you make it, the more you're going to be invested, you're going to stick with it. So definitely there's some other exercise or technique that you've played with intermittently. Give yourself a commitment to do a teeny tiny taste of it every day, all this week. From now when you're watching is day 1. If you're watching me live, this is day 1. If you're watching me a year from now, this day 1 for you then. So that's what I am talking about today. So here's I guess I'm ready to give you the homework. I don't see any comments or questions. You can always add a comment later. I will see it. If you want to get more direct, you can go to MishaTuesday.com, send me a direct message. If you want to get more of these tips, sign up for my email list. If you click the link in the description of the video, there's a box at the bottom of that page that you can sign up for my email list. What you will get when you do that is 3 a little bit more in-depth techniques. There's a little bit of overlap with the challenge this week, but there's going to be some techniques that you get in the email that you will not get here. So please do go after this video, sign up for my email list to get the extra tips that you can, after you do the challenge, you can then add that to your practice to beef it up. And if you want to get in touch with me, I'm widely available on all the social media and on my website, MishaTuesday.com. So please don't hesitate to send me your questions, comments. I love interaction, answering questions. I am very available to you for any comments, questions, discussions that you want to have. So when you pick your thing, if you already have a morning routine and you're doing it intermittently, give yourself a commitment to do it every day for a week. Every day for a week. You can even do your little programming when you go to sleep at night, when you lay down in bed. Just remind yourself, I'm going to do my morning routine. Even if, maybe your morning routine that you used to do is a half an hour long and you only want to commit to a minute or 5 minutes. If you haven't been consistent with it, if this is going to make you consistent, I give you permission to whittle your old morning routine down to the 1 minute or the 5 minutes that you can commit to. Because like I said, small, consistent action is going to get you much better results than trying to do something big and not sticking with it and doing it intermittently. We want consistency over quantity. Consistency over quantity is the main message for day one of the challenge. Corinne says, I am so glad to see you. I thought about you this weekend because I had not cut any videos recently. Thanks for sharing. I was on vacation, Corinne. I will be doing some lives in that other group this week, so I hope to see you there as well. Sierra says, love nighttime programming. Yeah, I usually do go on in the evening. I might go on during the day this week just to mix it up. So if you're interested in where else I'll be, please do key into my social media. Like my Facebook page. You can there's some groups I have that you can join. You can like me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. They don't do likes, even though Facebook owns them now. It should be like. Anyhow, there's plenty of ways to get access if you want to see where I'll be and get more of my awesome wisdom. Which I say that because last time I did a live in the other group, somebody commented that I was very wise, and I said, well, thank you. I'm gonna take that to heart and tell everyone now that I have outside validation of my wisdom. So Sierra says, setting up my next day for success is the biggest thing for me personally. Yeah, and we will talk about that later on in the challenge. But for right now, we're talking about the morning routine. Caleb says, what if my life is caught in a karmic loop of bliss and serendipity? That sounds awesome. If your life is caught in a karmic loop of bliss and serendipity, it sounds to me like you are already surfing the happen, my friend. And if you are already surfing the happen, you may or may not need a specific, consistent morning routine. However, if your karmic loop of bliss and serendipity is getting you great results, but all over the place results, and there's some goal that you have in mind that would require a little bit more stability, then you may want to put a piece of consistency in there. Because let me show you this. Happen is my magic word. I may explain that at length sometime if anybody's interested, but happen to me talks about that dance, that cosmic dance between causality and creativity, self-creativity, the push and pull of the universe. Things happen to us. We do things that then reflect back to us. That is a cycle. That is a cycle. Caleb is saying yes in all capital letters. Yes. So Caleb, if you are caught in the karmic loop of bliss and serendipity, you may be a little bit too far on one side of the equation. And you may have goals that require a little bit more stability. And oftentimes, and I've found myself in this situation many times in life, often when we're in that state, we worry, we are afraid that trying to go for some consistency is going to lose that karmic bliss loop, right? And I think that a place of fear is not a good place to create out of. So if you are avoiding that stability and consistency out of a fear that it will cancel that loop of bliss and serendipity, I would say you need to. I'm trying to make I'm in mirror image here. I'm trying to make my finger go the right way. Get that loop oscillating with those elements of the crazy random dance of happenstance and the little bits, the little points of consistency. So consistency and stability doesn't have to mean I'm normal and boring and I do the same thing every day. Not at all. There can be islands of that, right? You might not be an island, you might be an archipelago. You might be an archipelago of little points that you can have consistency, that you can draw the dots to, still with that freedom in between. And that is a lesson that I have had to learn, because Caleb, like you, I used to be totally all in on that karmic serendipity trip, which can be amazing, can be awesome. I certainly have great, amazing experiences from that time of my life. But, when I started having longer term goals and longer term responsibilities, I had to learn to weave those together. I certainly hope that I am not a boring person who does the same thing I know that I'm not a boring person who does the same thing every day, but I do have those islands, enough islands of consistency to generate that line of stability that still allows that freedom within it. So good. That was a tangent. Great comment, Caleb. Thank you for bringing that into the discussion, because I am a firm believer in the Tai Chi, the yin yang, the interplay of. There's many ways to map it. I think because you could map it to light and dark, active and receptive. There's many mappings that you could put onto that, but the reason it is called yin yang or yin yang, however it is truly pronounced, that concept of the interplay, it's always in motion. You see it as a static picture most of the time, but that image is a dance between those elements. You see the seed of the other in each one. There's a dot of light in the dark side, there's a dot of dark in the light side, and those are always growing and changing and shifting between each other. And it's not about achieving a stagnancy, it's about a rhythm or a pattern in which I can have consistency and stability, I can have freedom and creativity, and they can play with each other, they can dance with each other. I don't have to choose one or the other. In fact, I think oftentimes in life, when we see one of those dichotomies and we decide one of them is the right answer and we choose that side, that can be detrimental because you're neglecting a whole other part of the universe and a part of yourself that you are denying. So great comment, Caleb. Thanks for that. I had no idea that this was going to go in that direction. And because I am open to the dance of karmic loops, we had that great freedom. So now I'm going to give you the homework. The homework for, if you want to do it as soon as you get off of this, that's a great idea. If you want to call this a morning routine, I would say even if you do it, like suppose you're watching this at dinner time and you're like, you know what, I'm going to do my morning routine right after dinner. And then the subsequent days, do it first thing when you get up. But doing it now is always a good step. Take action now. Winston Churchill had a stamp. He had 3 stamps for plans that were submitted to him. One said approved, one said denied, and one said action this day. So take action, even if it's imperfect action. If you have a small, consistent action, even that's imperfect, you are going to tweak it, you are going to build on it, it's going to do amazing things in your life. So your homework, should you choose to accept it, your mission, is to choose one tiny thing that you can do first thing before you get up, before you look at Facebook, Instagram, email, your device, morning news, morning coffee. Coffee can be after the first minute if you're, one of those people who needs it right away. I make a cup of tea after my cold shower. I do my couple first things, I get a cup of tea, and then I continue my morning routine with that lift, that little caffeine lift that I enjoy so well, and many of you probably do as well. Pick one thing. If you want to do the intentional drinking of water, go to my YouTube channel. I'll link it in the, I was going to say the show notes. There's not really show notes for this. I'll link it in the comments. My YouTube video on the intentional drinking of water. Very easy to do. It's great for your body to get hydrated. Drink a glass of water first thing in the morning. I have a way where you just make it a little bit more intentional, and that can set the stage for your whole day. If you want to do a stretch, a morning stretch, if you know some sport stretches or a short yoga routine, I have a short Tai Chi Chuan routine form that I do. Pick one thing, and if you need ideas, if none of the things I've mentioned appeal to you and you need more ideas, put it in the comments. Say, hey, what do you guys do? What do you suggest? What can I do that's like this? We'll give you ideas. But pick one. Pick one that you're going to commit to for a week. It doesn't have to be big. I'm telling you to do something that you can do in 1 minute. 1 minute of your day for a week is going to get you on the road to a brand new outlook, a brand new confidence and positivity level that is going to then, like we talked about the interplay of you and the universe, it's going to reflect back to you. The actions that you take show you results. And Caleb says, I think I'm going to take one gradual, massive nasal inhale, exhale right when I wake up. That's a good one. I do a lot of breathing exercises in the morning. Breath of joy If you don't want to look into Wim Hof, you're like, that Iceman is crazy, I'm never going to get in a body of cold water. Look up Breath of Joy. There's probably lots of YouTube videos. It's a yoga, breathing method. It takes probably 10 seconds tops to do that. That's one of the things that I do for my breathing exercises in the morning. Breath of Joy is great. You can do the intentional drinking of water. You can do your affirmations in a cold shower. Even if you just take a regular shower, do some affirmations in there. Do some generative journaling. If you don't know what generative journaling is, I will talk about it on day 3. I will also mention Author Your Life by Laura Zealand, which is a whole book on how to use your journal to manifest, to make stuff happen in your life, which I highly recommend. You can do breathing exercises, you can do affirmations, you can do, if you know Tai Chi, or if you learn a short form. I think the full like Yang style Tai Chi, there's several different schools, but usually that they're like, I think like a half an hour long, 20 minutes long, something like that. There are short forms. If you're interested in Tai Chi but you don't have the time commitment to do the whole thing, learn a short form. Or if you know Reiki, or if you do Reiki, do a Reiki attunement in the morning. Do self Reiki in the morning, or some, if you know any kind of other energy thing, if you know a Golden Dawn meditation practice, if you know a chakra balancing, and these are things that you can find on YouTube. Find a short one, find the briefest one that you can find. Short, small steps consistently lead to big changes. So that takes me about to the end of what I have prepared for today, but I am going to give you a little extra boost if you choose to do, because I am the Mystic Hypnotist. I am going to give you a brief guided hypnotic meditation, and although I say hypnotic, you are not going to lose consciousness. You're going to remain in full control. You're going to hear every word I say. It is not direct hypnosis, but it will give you an idea of how hypnosis works. It will give you a little boost to remember and do these things that you're thinking about right now. You're like, that sounds cool. Maybe I'm going to give it a try. If you want to give yourself a little bit more motivation and remember in the morning, one thing that I do recommend, if you decide to do this, make a big note for yourself, not a little tiny handwritten, make a big printed out on A4 paper in giant letters what you're going to do, what your thing is. Do that intentional water, or do your stretching, whatever thing that you've chosen to do for your challenge. Print that out or write it in big letters and hang it where you're going to see it as soon as you get up in the morning, because you can't always rely on yourself to remember everything that you said you were going to do at every minute of the day. So give yourself a reminder. Very important. And I will give you a brief hypnotic meditation. It will be fun, enjoyable. You will remain fully aware and alert and in control at all times. If you choose to participate, just go ahead and stare at my hand for a moment. Make sure that you are relaxed and comfortable. Make sure that it is safe and comfortable for you to do this right now. You should be sitting or lying down, comfortable, body as symmetrical as possible. Just take a moment to do a quick body sweep and relax any areas of tension you still have. Get that body relaxed. Make sure your head, shoulders, torso, arms, legs, hands, toes, whatever parts you have are all relaxed as you stare at that hand. And simply take a nice deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and as you let that breath out, let a warm wave of comfortable energy flow from the top of your head all the way down your body. And as you stare at that spot, simply allow that feeling to deepen, that particular feeling that you're noticing now. Maybe it was already there and you're just noticing it, or maybe it's starting now. It might be a tingling in your feet. It might be warmth on the back of your neck. Whatever that feeling is for you that you're noticing more now, you can continue to become more aware of that sensation as it grows, and just allow that sensation to deepen. And as it deepens, as you continue to breathe naturally, as you continue to hear the sound of my voice, you can go even deeper with it, where your unconscious mind can unlock. We're not even asking to open right now, just unlock a door or a window to some inner power, some inner strength that you have not been tapping into fully. Allow, simply allow. We're not going to force, we're not going to cajole. We're simply inviting your unconscious mind to participate in this adventure. It's going to be fun, it's going to be enjoyable for everyone, for every part of you. It's going to make your unconscious mind's job easier. It's going to make your life better. And as you simply allow those doors and windows to unlock, you'll feel it when it happens. And we invite those doors and windows to unlock. They may open today, or they may open later this week as we continue to do the challenge. Right now, we're just getting a sense of that feeling, a taste of that sensation, as we allow those doors and windows to unlock, which will release untold power, skills, and abilities in the coming days and weeks as we continue to do the things that we're agreeing to do, the things that we're choosing to do, that are going to allow us to step into your power and make your wishes happen. And in a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. On 5, we'll all be wide awake, refreshed, and notice how good you feel. 1 can easily come back to the here and now, feeling 3 times better than before we began, feeling wide awake and revived on 5. Here we are at the end of day 1. Do this challenge. Tune in for session 2. And you are going to notice great improvements. Stick with it. You're going to notice little bits right away. You probably notice some feeling right now. But if you do these techniques, if you stick with this challenge, your life is going to transmogrify in many, many beautiful, brilliant ways. So please do contact me with any questions. James says, boom. Thank you, James. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Please do stick around. And if you're not seeing this in the if you're not seeing this in the Hypno-Energize Personal Power Mastery group, please do join that group. I will put that link in the show notes as well. And I will see you all very, very soon. Thank you all so much.